Hi, and welcome back to another pick a card reading. This one is general messages with the Celtic cross spread. So, looking at any situation in life, it could be relationships, but I do try to separate that energy for the reading earlier in the week. Anyway, take a moment to look at the cards, maybe pause the video and see which pile has a message for you. Then, down in the description box below will be a timestamp so you can go straight to your reading. Along with the cards that I'm using for this deck. So I'm using a lot of different cards this week, and hopefully next week we'll have some new oracle cards to mix into the readings as well. And so yeah, hope you enjoy your reading. Hi everyone, this is the reading for group 1. I'm going to jump straight in. General messages. Like I already feel almost like I can't breathe. And there's a lot of heavy energy in this reading, so it may be the case that you're feeling a little overwhelmed. So starting the reading, the situation is the Tower and the Seven of Wands. So something has crumbled. There's been a complete redirection of life, I would say, and it is perhaps come quite unexpectedly. And there's a lot of resistance towards whatever's happened, the change here. I feel like this is just like the rug's been pulled from underneath your feet. The challenge here is the Two of Wands and the Fool card. So feeling unable to look towards the future, perhaps feeling a little bit challenged about what the future might look like now, because I feel like this is a redirection for you, and that resistance. So you're looking at the challenges and how do I start again, or if that applies, or like, because I feel like this could be a breakup of a family home or a significant relationship or something like that. These are general messages, so it could be work, it could be, you take it how it applies here. The Tower moment has happened. The foundation of something that you thought was solid perhaps has crumbled. For good reason. This is for healing. This is for personal healing. It feels like, I feel like really hot straight away connecting to it, and just quite a bit, wow. It is very overwhelming perhaps in this moment, and the love reads I did 2 days ago, it was quite intense in one of the readings in that energy there too. So the challenge being unable to look towards the future and feeling a bit overwhelmed about what the future might hold, or plans for the future changing. In the beliefs, we have the Eight of Swords and the Six of Cups. So this could be to do with a family dynamic, and you're feeling quite powerless. This could have children involved. It could just be a deep soulmate connection. This could also be being really stuck, reliving the past or looking back at the past quite a lot, trying to figure out what went wrong and how. There's a lot of going around in the mental space in regards to this situation. It's happening. The Tower card was the first to just flip out, and that's just flip out. Maybe someone's flipped out. So looking at in the beliefs area, not knowing what to believe, perhaps trying to figure it out. Okay. Root of the issue. So there could more mental anguish here. There could be mental illness or old patterns triggered by deep emotional wounds that's happened, that's brought this up, and that. I feel like I think this came out in reverse. I'm not too sure. I don't typically take reversals, but I think it did. Either way, we can read this as withdrawing and trying to, mentally process. And this could be in overdrive, and it would match these other two cards if it was to be reversed. That you could be in mental overdrive right now. A lot of anxiety, a lot of emotional wounds really getting felt and coming to the surface. could be a bottling of things you've bottled and bottling a lot of things. This is some old wounds, cycles. You know, when I saw the moon card, I just thought cycles of the past that are repeating, that just don't belong in the future. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done here. It has to be faced. It can't be run away from. If that's been a pattern in the past to run away from these wounds and find a new distraction or something, this is some serious work that needs to be done here. This is the root of the issue. Okay. Let's feel deep sadness in that energy. In the recent past, Ten of Swords and the Judgment, so there's been some sort of judgment call to end something. Something has finished, and that's that rug being pulled out from beneath your feet, perhaps. This doesn't have to be a relationship or a job. It could be, you know, like this, whatever this is that came up, this old pattern or behavior or response or whatever it is, fear that was projected. Maybe it's time to call on those behaviors and do some deep healing and face that deep healing, because that's why it's come up. It didn't come up just to say hello. It came up because it's got to be healed. It needs to be acknowledged, and not by any external party, but just by yourself. This is about self. So in the near future, we've got the Devil and the Ace of Cups. So there could be a love message coming in. It may be that you need to decipher whether this is a genuine love offer or of any kind. It doesn't need to be everything, just a gesture or something. Or is it stuck in codependence? Or there's another option of this. There's a few layers here for these. Everyone will be a bit different. And this is also an unconditional loving connection that's extremely magnetic. So if there's been some sort of separation, like we can see here, it's possible that there's a coming back together. But what is the intentions here? What is that for? We need to look at that. We've got... I just see this, I feel like this might be a twin flame connection for some of you, or a yin-yang lover of sorts, designed to teach you about wholeness and unity within. But anyway, in the near future, there may be reconnection. Or just, for some of you, this could be self-love over repeating some of these old behaviours and going back into these cycles where, into addictions or distractions or temptations. Choosing self-love over temptation. This may present differently to everybody. For some people it won't be a love offer coming in. It will be that choosing self-love over temptation and choosing a path of healing and really getting the root of what all this was about, and not allowing that to come forward into future connection. You know, cutting that out. Ten of Swords. No more. Calling judgment on that. So in the self-perception, Ten of Wands, lots of wands throughout this whole reading. So feeling quite weighed down by the situation here. Waiting to see how this unfolds, waiting for a return of your power as well. There's such an element of powerlessness. So a regrouping at this time. You've got options. You know that you have capabilities to maneuver your life in whichever direction you'd like to do that, but I just feel at this time it's just too much. Like, just right now, it's that feeling of I can't see past anything other than what I'm feeling right now. I just feel like it's still in it so much that we're just sitting with our pain right now, perhaps sitting with the process of grieving. Is just, you know, there's a process and it's just unfolding. I feel the way others are perceiving you or the person closest to you. I feel like this is the person involved here, if there is such a person. How was it? the other person sees you as having perhaps epiphanies. Perhaps they can psychically see you or check on you or just know where you're at in life and what this is about. Somebody who can pierce through the veil and see you. Transformation. They see this as an opportunity for you to rise into your power and do some deep healing and step up and shift, evolve and move. Death card can also be, endings as well and time to transform life onto a new direction, onto a new path. So that they can see you literally, off on a whole complete direction. But the first thing I thought when I saw Death card is this person is watching you evolve and heal from whatever you're going through, even if right now you may not be feeling like you're in a very powerful state, considering we've got this Ten of Wands in self-perception, feeling quite heavy and weighed down by it all. But somebody nearby sees the bigger picture for you. In the advice, all major arcana here, Hanged Man, Empress, and the Hierophant. So what are you learning about love and abundance? What are you learning about surrender? What are you learning here? This is all about deep learning, I feel. Huge epiphanies. Connecting the dots. This is deeply spiritual energy, but also grounded earthly energy too here. This could possibly be union with, if this is a masculine, I feel like I'm reading for a masculine here, and this could be the feminine. If that's the case, don't get hung up on genders, but it could be just surrendering to allow this path to unfold. If this is a love connection, just let go and allow it to unfold how it needs to, perhaps. There is, just a deep need for surrender at this time, and that's in the advice. This is also self-love and looking at what you're learning, deep reflection. Deep reflection, and that's retrograde city right now. So outcome, more of this deep reflective state with the Hermit card, but also victory. 2 victory cards here. 2 victory cards over the wisdom that you're to gain from this scenario, from this situation, whatever this is. With this victory, it is possible to have messages received between each other and talk through some of these things. There is possibility for that if it is a separation in relationship. This could also be, this is a public victory too, so it's rising up, I would say, out of this situation and choosing what's best for you, like really embodying those lessons that you've learned about self-love and self-worth and what love looks like and the higher wisdom gained from the experience. Applying that to life and becoming victorious over a very hard situation. So I have a bunch of oracle cards I pulled as well. My phone fell down, but we're all good now. Dimensional planes of perception. Simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphany. The veils between worlds are now open for greater exploration of cosmic mysteries. Perceptions are enhanced, allowing elusive threads to be seen that once may have been just out of reach, strengthening one's abilities to see both the internal and external workings of the universe, which are only mirrors of each other that project causes and effects, providing experiential consciousness for comprehensive epiphanies. So coming to realize that these old patterns repeating are not serving anymore, and this deep wisdom, this going within, the epiphanies are coming to you, realizations and clarity is coming to you in regards to this situation and how to not repeat these cycles anymore and put this to rest. Epiphany. What a blessing at a time like this, approaching a new moon too, right? So we have from Mother Guidance, Mother Mary, Queen of Angels, forgiveness and tenderness. So I feel like tenderness is talking about that, maintaining boundaries here, if that applies, maintaining firm boundaries, but also having that softness to be compassionate and understand the other person's point of view, and try and look at this from a bigger perspective. And the other card was surrender, surrendering to the path ahead, surrendering to. I feel that came with this forgiveness. I am willing to release old resentments so that I may enjoy my life. And again, it's that the core issue here, these old wounds that are coming up to surface, getting in the way of you enjoying your life. So if there is a situation or person in the past that you haven't healed from, and you're bringing that forward into new connections, that's not going to create harmony at all for anybody. So surrendering to where your life has come from, where you're at right now. Surrendering to the path ahead, even if it is looking quite scary and you're not sure. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that gave some sort of comfort or clarity. And I look forward to reading again next week. Sending lots of love to you. Bye. Okay. Group 2. Oh, move me back a bit. There we go. Right. Group 2. Let's get started. Situation. Oops, back a bit. Okay, group 2. The Lovers. 6 of Wands. Woohoo! I feel like this is like you've closed a cycle. You're on the way to something bigger and better. You're learning a lot along the way. And this is about alignment and purpose. And I feel like there's been perhaps some sort of achievement or success recently in redirection. If not redirection, then in this whole grand redirection. Like, you've come from something darker or heavier or harder to navigate, and you're well on your way, I do feel. This could also be love related. These are general messages though. The love reading was earlier in the week. So I'll try to keep it out of it, but sometimes it just peers on through. So this could be a coming together or a coming home or a reunion with a lover as well. But for the most part, I do want to say this is about alignment with your purpose, your path, and making huge decisions that are, in direct alignment with your logic and your heart's guidance, your intuition. So, yeah, and perhaps a huge decision is being made, and it's just about your success in life, or it will affect your success in life. Now, the challenge: 8 of Wands, Ace of Wands. A lot of passion here. So the challenge could be getting started or getting moving, momentum. Breathing fresh energy into the situation could be a challenge. It could just be that this is still so hot. If a recent change is still so fresh, although it's victorious, it still can be. I can't grab the word. Tumultuous on the inside. I don't know. Like, I'm just a pressure cooker, maybe. If that applies. It could be communication too. It could be you having challenging communication about this with somebody else. In beliefs. I love this. In beliefs. Yes. 2 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, right? So you are aware that the changes, the redirection of your life right now, the changes and the developments and the transformation, however it applies, that's going on in your life right now is leading you away from places and times of lack, of being left in the cold, of perhaps financial burden and strife and poverty, and you're making the choices to do with success, to do with creating a bigger and better life for yourself. So the beliefs is that the redirection needs to happen in order to invite in more abundance. And I'm excited. I feel excitement for this in this energy, in this reading. I don't know if you're in this place of excitement yet. We've got to be. I mean, Six of Wands and Lovers. So yeah, redirection and chasing new dreams, chasing new abundance, and leaving behind what doesn't serve, what leaves you wanting, what wasn't fulfilling. Then it may be the need to sacrifice here. It may be a need of sacrifice and a lot of effort to make this change happen. It could require a lot of effort on your behalf here. So beliefs, High Priestess in the Tower. I feel like, yeah, if this has come from something quite, you know, abrupt had happened, and you're rising up out of that situation now, the root of the issue is that Tower moment that seems to have happened, and the High Priestess, I feel, is here to tell us that there's more to this situation than may be available to you right now. We are heading to that new moon. It is time for deep reflection. We may not have all the picture right now. We may not have all the answers. There may be more than meets the eye to this situation, and why it had to go this way. If you know, the Tower moment happened, why that had to happen may not be revealed to you yet at this time. But hopefully you take on the perception that, you know, this is happening for me, not to me, and that everything is as it should be, and taking the most from the situation. Powerful person here, so I can't see why you wouldn't be making the most of your situation here, rising up out of this Tower situation, applying the wisdom you've gained from life experiences, and you embodying that divine wisdom too. Like, we've got this alignment with head and heart, and that driving you towards success, right? Leaving behind lack and less than and burden and all this. Abandonment, feeling left out. Following your intuition. Your intuition may have led you towards creating a huge of life. In the recent past, we've got Five of Wands in the Justice card, so conflict over lack of justice, perhaps. Conflict because justice was restored, perhaps, in recent past. Truth being told, things coming out, causing conflict. Five of Wands causing, could show up in all sorts of ways. It could be internal conflict, your own justice, if you've been a truth that you've been ignoring, and your intuition's been telling you something, and finally you've had to face it. And allow this Tower moment to happen for redirection, so that you can move where you need to be and stop being where you don't, or if that applies. In the near future, Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. So, like, I'm just seeing this huge shift from the get-go here. This is a graduation process of some sort. You have mastered something here, and you're moving into a time of more abundance in your life because of your own embodiment of that frequency. Inviting in fresh energy for yourself. The Wheel of Fortune can be good luck and wishes coming true sort of thing. It can be just, you know, being your own karmic wheel there, and inviting in more abundance by embodying more abundance and practicing self-love and embodying this beautiful feminine Empress energy. Compassionate and gentle, yet firm and healthy boundaries. Attends responsibilities, but can balance that out and have fun and play. All the wonderful qualities of a gorgeous Empress. This can also have to do with pregnancy and motherhood as well, if that applies. This card can talk about fertility of all types. Feminines in your life. Self-perception is the Mother of Swords and the Five of Swords, and I just get a little bit prouder each section of cards with you here, because this is an achievement and some. I can see this here all the way through, like Wheel of Fortune turning with this Empress card. I can't even pick it up. Oh, it's this huge progression, evolution. It shows that you've mastered something. You've had a test perhaps brought to you, and you've aced it, or something. You've applied your wisdom and your intellect and your discernment, and you've said the truth here. Perhaps you've swung that sword down, and you're thinking logically, and you're making plans like just nothing's distracting you anymore. You're on target, and you are going for success here. We've got Five of Swords, so it could be, it's victory over this conflict, whatever that was. It's victory over that because of your intellect. You're like, maybe something was trying to pull wool over your eyes or something. No. I like it. Okay, so others perceiving you. Three of Wands and Six of Swords. Sort of in a void zone perhaps, and that could be resonant here if you're moving from something. Six of Swords is moving from really rocky waters and harder times into more calm territory, releasing old emotional baggage and just sort of clearing space for self to move into victory, move into what's next for you. It can be on all levels and bodies of existence. This could be in a mental and emotional. This could be physically moving and yourself away. But we've got Three of Wands here too. So slow release in the void zone. Sort of maybe not quite at the next level of manifestation, but in this area of away from the trouble and sort of tending fertile soil, like getting ready to bring in what's your next manifestation or advice from Spirit. Advice. Eight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Ace of Cups. So continuing self-mastery here, continuing learning what you're learning. Self-love and unconditional love. You are one of these people who is on the heart awakening journey. I can see that here, and you are learning about love. You are learning about self. This also, in regards to career choices and paths being made here, could represent getting paid work with an organisation. This is fulfilling, like something that would help you would feel emotionally fulfilled with. So this could also be advice to go for that if there was some sort of organisation, government body or something to go and work with. If that was what you were thinking of redirecting your life towards, then advice would be to go for that. That could be applying to some people. Other people, this is specialties of all kinds. This is not just paid work in, monetary abundance. This is also your skill set that you have on all levels. So, continuing to take what you've learned from this whole situation and sort of wrap that up in a bow and use that. It's the tools you're going to take with you. And it's reflected here again in the outcome, right? We've got four major arcanas here. Strength and the Magician, Death and the Moon. Wow. So you are, again, like I said, this is a huge graduation process for you. So what you're gaining from this whole scenario is so much inner strength and courage and ability to defend yourself and know yourself deeper and know you're capable of more so now, having had this experience. Stronger within yourself. This has transformed your emotions and transformed you on an emotional level, I feel, as well. It's transformed some of these fears that you just don't need to carry with you anymore. It's that you've learned a lot about yourself from this whole experience. And that's what you're taking with you. You're taking metamorphosis with you, strength with you, and the Magician, like infinite possibilities here and skills. This is something to be grateful for, this experience, even if it was hard. I mean, especially if it was hard, right? So the Oracle cards, I've got a couple from Starseed. We've got the Seal of Evolutionary Colours, Progressive Awareness, Multi-Directional Change. Okay, I'll read it from the book. The changing colours and geometries signify new movements and experiences or a redefinition of interests, bringing a sense of progression and an awareness of available directions that are now open to being considered regarding one's varying pursuits and disciplines. generating change in multiple areas of one's life. The path branches in many directions, offering valuable choices and insights to be experienced. So yeah, the things are opening up for you. There's a redirection here for sure. Multi-directional change. And yeah, like I could feel when with that Hierophant Ace of Eight of Pentacles, it's like this could apply so differently to so many people. This will be work and career for some, and others this will be the that personal development journey, the heart awakening journey. Others it'll be both. Okay, so signs from Mother Mary. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continually sends, and be bold. So looking for the signs of redirection here and which way you need to go. I feel like it's in your compass. Your compass is already set to where it needs to go and you're headed there. Yeah. So signs, watching for the signs. And be bold. I don't think I need to tell you this either. Go for it. You like Queen of Swords, I don't need to tell you to be bold. This is fantastic. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, I hope that gave you some clarity, comfort, or guidance in one way or another, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Bye. Hi everyone, this is group 3, and I hope you can't hear the lawn mowing going on not far out the window. Hopefully the headset blocks that out a bit. So, group 3. There's so many cards here. And a mixture of energies. So the situation for group 3. I'm just getting to it. The 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. So facing some conflict at this time. And perhaps feeling a little left out in the cold. Perhaps you're leaving someone else out in the cold, which I do feel is more of the case for a lot of you. Having to assert some boundaries here. And that may be causing conflict, so these boundaries aren't appreciated by who they're being asserted to, against, whatever. But yeah, currently, feeling really conflicted about how to handle this situation. I feel like it's a little bit confusing too. Maybe there's too many people involved, or someone's being really unfair, or it's just so there's so much. Perhaps it's just so gotten out of hand or something, and it's at this point where you're not sure what to do. And the challenge here is Ace of Cups and the Fool. The challenge is breathing fresh energy into this. Love. The challenge is love here. This must be coming from fear. The challenge is to breathe love into this, and the Fools to take this into fresh territory, to steer this away from where it's been, to perhaps even wrap this up. It could be getting drawn out for far too long. Like I said, perhaps it's gotten out of hand. Okay, the camera fell, but we're all good. We're back to it. So where I was up to is the beliefs, the World and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, asserting some boundaries, leveling up here. Perhaps you've spoken your truth on something, or you need to, or there's some sort of truth that you need to defend, perhaps, or something you need to complete, and it's based on a decision you need to make. Yeah, it's got to come from you, I feel, here. Then, you know that's in the beliefs area. Like, only you can end this. Only you can put a stop to this. Perhaps, if that applies. It could also be that because of you speaking your truth, it has put an end to this for some of you. That's already been done, and rightly so. I feel like it was something like, look at the posture in this Queen of Swords. Damn straight she did that, or damn straight she said that. Yes, she went there, all right? Yes, she did. And I back her. I don't know what it's about, but I back her, and I feel fierce about it. Yeah, I feel sacred anger here. Like, I'm with you, okay? Whatever it is, I don't know. I don't know what I'm condoning, but I'm with you. Right? So, root of the issue. I don't use these cards too often. I thought I'd use them because they're bigger and maybe you can see a bit better the gloss here. So the root of the issue is somebody who's taken your kindness for granted by the looks of it here. We've got Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and Justice. Can you see this? Oof. Oh, so, you know, perhaps you've been really giving here in this situation, and providing a lot of stability and comfort to a certain someone or situation, providing a lot of substance of some sort. You've been giving and generous of your energy, of your time, of your material abundance, of your. I just feel your time exhausted a little bit too by this, and yeah, the justice has been the scales are balancing out here with justice, and that's the root of the issue. There was an imbalance, and it's caused in the recent past this Tower moment. And I can't remember if it was the first or second group. Maybe you were drawn to more than one pile, but this combination with a different deck of cards, the Tower and the High Priestess, came out in the root of the issue for another reading here. And so, you know, there's more than meets the eye to this scenario. There's a lot that hasn't been revealed to you yet about this, but either way, it's out of your hands. Something's blown up, and like we saw here with this Queen of Swords, it could be because you've spoken your truth about something, you pulled the plug on something, you've just, you've asserted a strong boundary and it's been met with resistance perhaps. Yeah. In the near future, Two of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. So, we've got this imagery of, you know, these two different paths to take, and normally we see the Two of Swords as a decision in regards to love over fear, or being stuck in indecision due to fear. And there's two different paths to go down right in front of you. I feel like you're at this point now. This is near future, but here we are now. And the decision you could make is, well, you've got this King of Pentacles right down here in the root of the issue. So he's bringing in some issues. Perhaps this is a love reading. Perhaps this is your boss. Perhaps this is your father. It doesn't have to be hung up on the gender, but so you could continue. I can see this option here, or the Two of Swords, where you can continue to go with Queen of Pentacles in alignment with that person and work on things. So you can also choose the Nine of Pentacles. So some people, this is if I do the love reading at the start of the week, sometimes they pierce on through. So if that's the case, there's a path here you can go down. Now, for others, not love related at all, this is a decision to continue to assert your boundaries and stand up for what you choose to be your abundance. And this is a self-made woman, right? So if this is in regards to a work situation, know that you have every right to assert whatever boundaries you may have asserted, and that you can and will create all of the abundance you need. The Nine of Pentacles is she's a single lady card. She's self-sufficient. She's got all that she needs. And the Queen of Pentacles is even more accomplished and abundant. It's a more mature version of, I like to feel, very nurturing energy, very healing energy. So this can also talk about moving from a period of indecision and this stuff, whatever's gone on and blown up, into away from anything that's disrupted your garden, your home, your space, your life, whatever it is. Pushing all of that out and just being again, just coming back to self, coming back to center. I feel, is what this is about for a lot of people. Just grounding, a lot of grounding after some tumultuous experience, perhaps. So, in self-belief, self-perception, the Lord, which would be the Emperor, and the Princess of Pentacles. And like I just noticed with this, the way his cape wraps around her, it's almost like the decisions you've made is something to do with a childhood trauma, perhaps. This will hit for some. And it's potentially you rising up and fathering self, healing the inner father wound, perhaps, if that applies, or an inner child wound where you've needed to assert boundaries and protect yourself, the little girl inside, perhaps, if that applies for some people. In other cases, this, very much is about protecting yourself. Again, still asserting boundaries. It doesn't have to be the inner child wound. It can just be asserting boundaries about your creation, what you're manifesting, what you're building, what opportunities you're bringing to yourself, and like anything that's out of alignment with that, and will mess with your frequency or your future or anything. We're cutting that out, right? You can see that. The way others are perceiving you. The Lovers, the Lady, which would be the Empress, and Kununos, which would be the Devil. So, if this is an external party, this could be somebody who finds you very magnetic, very attractive, soul connection, and is not wanting to let you go. This could be quite gripped on energy. Obsessive type energy can be the case for some people. And there is conflict here, and there is this misalignment here. There is, I do the love readings earlier in the week, but like I said, sometimes it spills over. But so this could be a person perceiving you that way on the outside of yourself, feeling very magnetic pull to you and not wanting to let you go, feeling very, even if they wanted to, they probably couldn't. I don't know. It's just very attached. But outside of that, we've got abundance, and we have got alignment here. So in pattern of what we've seen with this growth and choosing, perhaps to rid yourself of any things that bind you, any addictions, any things that hold you back or hold you down, that Two of Swords decision you've got. Kununos, the Devil, perhaps putting down some of those energies to make way for what's in alignment. This is head and heart alignment when we see the Lovers. It's a decision being made in alignment with your purpose, your path, and the greater picture for you, and which would only bring in more abundance, which is beautifully in alignment, this Empress, with the Queen of Pentacles, right? Fertile times ahead. But anyway, this is in perception of the way that others are perceiving you. So perceiving you as a very abundant person with a lot to give, a lot of love to give. You really can see, and if this is work related, then you have everything to offer this company, this business, this team, this project, whatever it is. And they see that. They see that. You're desired here. Advice. 9 of Wands. Princess of Swords, which would be the Page of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. So setting yourself free here is what I'm seeing. Setting yourself free from limiting beliefs, from old patterns, from anything that just keeps you stuck. Releasing yourself from that, cutting yourself free from that, using your sword of discernment and intellect, and cutting yourself free from wounding experiences. The advice is, to release, to let go, to release, to anything you may fear, repercussions perhaps that can come of this. Perhaps there's this feeling that the worst is yet to come with this situation and it's not over yet. Release that. Release that notion. In the outcome, Prince of Pentacles, which would be the Knight, 3 of Pentacles, and 10 of Swords. 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Maybe it was that way. Yes, Knight first. Okay. So the outcome position, and I think this was confirmed in the Oracle card actually, and I did feel this when I was pulling it. This is an unfolding event. The worst is not yet to come. I don't know. I can't say that. Everyone's situation is going to be different, and maybe there's a lot more tower yet to crumble. But in this case, it's like there's this determination to work together, but I just don't know if it's going to work out here. We've got this Ten of Swords. It just feels wait and see. It feels like, and I do think the oracles say the same. This is just take your time, I feel. Take your time, apply the wisdom that you've already gained from this experience. Keep those firm boundaries. I just think this is more to unfold here. In the oracles, got a couple of oracles today. Next week, hopefully, we should have some new decks too. So we're going to have a bit more oracle fun at the end of these readings. Temple of Suspended Endings, right? See? Stand still. Suspended animation and holding space. The outcome is being weighed and balanced and is not yet determined. Also, this indicates a restful pause where nothing is beginning or ending, but it is either continuing as usual or has reached a point of stasis before moving on. In additional meaning is to simply hold space, allowing for the best outcome to arise. Open to being in the moment, whatever that moment is, and let it unfold of its own accord in its own time. So, a beautiful card there from the Starseed Oracle. I'll put all the cards in the description box below. Of course, we also have patience. I trust in divine timing. Mother Mary Oracle. Patience. And so more speaking to just like this, that is not the Knight of Pentacles, a very patient being. He is slow moving and methodical and careful and planning, and this just chip away at what's in front of you and release any of the fears. Okay? Now, power cards. We have maintain your position and manipulation. So maintaining your position, exactly what we've spoken about here with any boundaries you may have asserted, continue to maintain that position. And what this truth you've spoken, do not back down. And do not be swayed by manipulation. Do not back down. Do not allow manipulation to get the better of you. And I don't feel like I need to say this to you, but don't succumb to being manipulative in this scenario. I don't think you will be. I feel like you're more inclined to want to get away from manipulation with this Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands energy. No more of that conflict. Thank you. Okay, all right. I'm sending a lot of love to you. I'm going to leave that there. And I hope that this reading gave you some clarity or guidance or comfort or something. And I look forward to reading again next week. If you want to share with me down below how the reading resonated with you, I'd always love to hear it. I'll talk to you soon.